What's going on, guys? I got KG, the man himself from Bomb Projects, back on the show. It's been a little bit since he's been here. Buckle up. Let's get to it. What's going on, guys? Thank you for being here. Happy Tuesday night. It is 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It's 7 o'clock here in Minnesota. And I don't know, maybe the sun's still out there in sunny California. KG from Bomb Projects is here. I would think most of you know who KG is, but if you don't, you need to stick around. I really enjoy his insight. I enjoy his perspective, making killer animals, all that total package. So I'm excited for this episode. So stick around tonight. Announcements, not too much. I'm coming up. I was going to say on the tail end, but actually I've still got quite a few things going on. But this Saturday, Fargo, North Dakota show. Hope to see you guys there. I think it's at the fairgrounds. If you're out there in Fargo watching, just Google the Fargo Pet Expo. But it's a great show, and they only do it once a year, and it's one day, once a year, man. It is gangbusters. I love it in there. So I'll be out there in Fargo on Saturday, and then I'm doing a doubleheader this weekend. I'll be back at the Snake Discovery Show in Hastings, Minnesota, right in my backyard here on Sunday. So big weekend for me. And then I wrap up my run of shows and really kind of my season on November 2nd in Des Moines, Iowa at the Cold Blooded Expo show. So hope to see you then. If you can't make any of those shows and you think you might want to buy something from your boy Adam here, go check out properroyals.com. I've got just about all of the pictures updated. Keeping everything up to date is a challenge, but especially in a busy show season. But I think everything's up to date. I spent most of the day today getting pictures and information up to date. So properroyals.com is up to date. As always, big thank you to Palm Street coming to you ad-free tonight. Great content tonight, great guest. And it's Tuesday night, Proper Royals. You're here, I'm here. We're going to be hanging out. I thought I'd share, before I jump in tonight, I thought I would share one experience that I had because I've been thinking about it. And at first, I have to admit, I took it a little bit personal, which I shouldn't have. That's no big deal. I'll get over that. And I wasn't rude to anybody about it. But I kind of asked myself, why does this keep bugging me? And I think why it bugged me was, aside from sort of taking it personal, there was a couple lessons, and like if the other person had just done a little bit different, it would just be a totally different outcome. And I thought I'd share it anyway. It makes me feel better to get stuff off my chest, you know. So I'll leave the details vague because I'm not calling anybody out. They're good people. But I had a conversation with somebody who basically said, well, there's no sense in us talking business because you have exclusivity deals. For the record, I'm completely independent. None of my business arrangements or relationships involve exclusivity. Any exclusivity that I have is based on loyalty to a brand or a relationship, and it's because I value it that much, not because it's written in a contract somewhere. And sometimes exclusivity makes sense. If I advertise for Redline and there's only a handful of other shippers in the industry, I'd be probably a pretty underhanded dude if I wasn't loyal and exclusive to them. On the other hand, 4 or 5 different ball python breeders advertise with me. And I think that they're all good people that in my heart, I could tell you that they're good to do business with, and I can recommend them with a clear conscience. And when I have done business with them in the past, I state that publicly. So I have the freedom to work how I want to work. And I always want to, so it bothered me a little bit that there was that perception. I'm very proud of who I work with, but we work together because we want to work together. There are no contracts with any of the folks that I work with. They're handshake deals, and we've never disrupted those. They're welcome to leave at any time, and I wouldn't leave. I mean, if they did something that misrepresented their mission or what they said that they were to me, I probably would have a conversation and consider it. But I say that because while I advertise a lot and it's a big part of my business model and my income, I always want to be sure that I'm free to represent my own values, my own vision, my own mission, and my own goals. And I want to work with people that I'm aligned with that way. That's where my loyalty and any perceived exclusivity comes from, is loyalty, not a paycheck. If I'm going to, let me make this very clear. If I'm going to be bought with a paycheck, I can make a whole lot more money going back to running private clubs and working for, dudes with helicopters and stuff like that, which is what I did. And I ran my course with that. I had enough of it and I'm good without that. So that was the first thing. The second thing was, like, if the person had just phrased it as a question seeking to understand, we would probably be doing business today. And so, for example, saying, hey, I know you work with a lot of people. Do you have exclusivity deals? Would you be interested? Is there an avenue we can work together? Because at the end of the day, if it's good for you all, the customers, the consumers, the people that I talk to every week, multiple times a week, then I want to share that good news. That's where I'm dictated by. So food for thought, all of that. I feel better now. Thanks for hearing me out. I know that you guys came tonight to see KG hang out. What a great guest. He's one of the people that when I get a chance to talk with him, it's like we just connect right off. We get down to business. And I don't mean business like transaction, like meaningful conversation. There's some conversations you have where it's just like, all right, let me just do the pleasantries and get through stuff. There's none of that. Like, if we ask each other how we're doing, it's because we really want to know how we've been and how things are going, and I love that stuff. And then, just the icing on the cake is amazing animals, amazing business insight, great stories in life that I don't even know. I got to let KG decide if he wants to share any of those. I'm always guarded on, like, personal conversations that we've had. Those aren't my stories to tell, but if he wants to, that's okay. But anyway, I'm really excited to have KG back on the show. I can't believe it has been 2 years. September 2023 was the last time that KG was on the show. So without further ado, please welcome back to the proper royal stage from Bomb Projects. I'm going to say LA, but I think that there's a more specific neighborhood from Los Angeles, California, KG from Bomb Projects. What's going on, KG?
Bam. Hey, that was too much, man. Too good. That was too good. I hope I live up to the expectations.
I got to tell you, man, I'm excited to have you. I'm going to be happy. And I love doing this show for the audience, as I just sort of explained, but I also enjoy doing it for my own education and fun. And
for sure,
if everybody's winning, then it's always going to be a good show. How you been, man? It's been, I can't believe it. Man. 2 years it's been since you've been here, right?
I know, it seems like yesterday. That's what happens when you're having fun.
That's true. Hey, the important stuff first, man. How's your home, your family, your neighborhood? I know you guys
everything is
devastated by that fire.
The ball is rolling.
Okay.
It's right now you got to deal with the insurance, a lot of red tape, all of that BS.
Sure.
But it's going.
Are you going to be able to, are any of your neighbors coming back? Is there going to be the same neighborhood and those relationships, or do you know yet?
No, I doubt it. I was talking with a old friend of mine from the neighborhood last night, and, just trying to get a grasp on what will it look like 5-10 years from now. And I think, like I was saying last night, I'd say 5 years from now, fast forward, I think it would be 50 to 55% rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole city was burned down. There was, let's say there's 10,000 structures in the city. I say 9,500 were burned. It looks like a war zone.
Yeah, I saw one picture, and then I think it was you or D that posted it, and it was just your home and
it's undescribable, man. What it is. And that's just our city, you know what I mean? You also had the Pacific Coast cities that were affected too. So it was
Man.
just a crazy chain of events.
When I saw it, it reminded me of Homestead, Florida, after Hurricane Andrew, and I lived down there immediately in the aftermath. And you're right; it's years of rebuilding, and it comes back, but it's slow and it's different.
Yeah,
it's not
slow.
the same. Yeah, it's not the same faces and
that
the same
city is,
personalities.
that's a city I was born and raised in. So I've been there 56 years of my life, so I know everybody there in that city. It's such a small town. It's 7 miles north of downtown LA.
Yeah.
In the foothills. So it was far enough away from the city, but still had a city vibe. It was just a unique place. So it pains you to see it like that.
That's neat how you describe it, because I anyhow, not being from there, I think of Southern California as pretty packed and massive, and the time I've spent there seems it's not skyscrapers, but there's just, I mean, you can't drive anywhere fast. I mean, it's just you're just packed. And so to hear you describe it in sort of a small town feel, that's a really special place, and you've been there the whole time.
One of those unique places, man. It's crazy.
Well, thanks for sharing. I'm glad that you guys are okay. I'm glad that your animals were okay and your home is still there.
Thank God they weren't in the city.
Yeah.
The animals are, 3.5 miles away. So, but that was a scary night,
Oh my goodness. So they weren't in the house with you?
No, we got a separate facility. So that was, that was real stress. I didn't sleep, you think your house is airtight, or the facility is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when the city was on fire, I mean, ashes I don't even know how they were getting in here. It's crazy.
Oh, and so you were getting them
it was
inside,
in here. I'm choking, I still got to keep the windows closed. How are the animals going to respond? The, the rats, like it was pure hell.
That's crazy. If you're like me, not the worst, I have felt worse things, but one of the worst feelings is just feeling helpless, just feeling you just have to wait, and there's literally nothing you can do. And honestly, if you tried to do something, you probably end up dead. So you can't really do anything that way either.
The hardest part, was probably, it hit me about 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 big totes in here that I had threw all the stuff out, like show stuff. And I was thinking I can probably get about 40 snakes in here. So now I got a decision. I'm sitting here trying to mark the tubs, like which ones am I going to take? Which project means the most to me? And then I'm thinking, damn, I can't even save the rats. Like it's a terrible feeling. Terrible.
That's an awful catch-22. I don't even want to pick that apart. That's awful. I'm sorry.
I mean, thank God I didn't have to do that, but those were decisions that was running through my mind. It was crazy.
Right. I've been through some hurricanes, but not with animals. I've had those thoughts with guitars, but that's a little different. Those are obviously replaceable.
And it's the same thing. Yeah. I mean, these animals are replaceable. Granted, they are living, but it's just, you don't even just to think that I have to choose.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's a terrible feeling.
Yeah. Well, how about some better topics? How about we talk about some snakes and better times, man? Welcome everybody to the therapy session.
Right, exactly. Hey, man, I got my couch session in. I'm good.
There we go. Good evening, Rage Games. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for a couple bucks in the jar.
Oh, let me say just a big shout out to everybody in the that showed up tonight to show support to you and myself.
Absolutely, man.
Your generosity and love is not ignored, or is it overlooked? So I just want to say thanks. And a special shot to Riley. She knows why.
Okay, who's Riley? Where's Riley at? She's just watching.
Reptiles.
Riley Reptiles?
She's watching. She's a young up-and-coming breeder, man.
I know Riley. I did not thank you for saying. I didn't see Riley in the room. Riley, thank you for the little feature on the video. I watched it. It came out very cool. Keep doing what you're doing, and if I can ever help you in this space, let me know. That's
what I told her. I said everybody's here for you. You know,
That's right.
You're the future.
She is, and that was a cool man. I got questions for Riley. I want to know who did her editing and who chose. It's great.
Yeah,
Where did you get
exactly.
the equipment?
Hey,
All of
Riley,
that?
make sure you reach out to Adam. You can get a show now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
We'll do a feature one night. So, KG, when did you get? I wanted to. I kind of know where I want to get to here, but I want to set the stage a little bit. When did you get started in ball pythons? What year was that?
I've had snakes forever. You know, just a quick backstory. I was born and raised with Chad Brown from Ship Your Reptiles.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we lived around the corner. His parents are like my second parents, and you know, we herped growing up as kids because we lived in the foothills. So
wow,
we were always into just crazy stuff. So
I mean, speaking of stuff I don't want to get into, all stuff aside, it's amazing how small the world is, right?
Oh,
I mean, that's incredible, man. Yeah. We'll leave that one there. But okay, so you guys, you've been at reptiles and herping for a long time.
Everything. Forever. In my household, my parents, I could have anything that had legs. Chad could have anything.
Oh, yours had to have legs though.
Oh yeah, in my house it had to have legs. So I wasn't able to get a snake until I remember moving out with my uncle in my first apartment, and my mom gave me some money for furniture, and I took the couch money and bought a boa. So that's probably when it started with the snakes. You know, I'm like, I'm not gonna have company. Shit, they don't need to sit on the couch.
Right? They could sit. Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll put a lid on the tub.
I had the old school beanbag. That's all you need. So that's where the snake venture started. That was 1988.
Gotcha. And then when did like the ball python focus with bomb projects come about?
Okay, so fast forward, I'd say the middle of 2019.
Yeah.
I bought it's funny, so back up a little. I say 2005, I saw my first piebald.
Right.
And somebody showed it to me, and I was like, man, that's Photoshop. That's not real, right?
Right.
And they're like, no, I swear it's real. So immediately I text a picture to Chad, and I said, hey, what is this? And he shot back like, oh, that's a piebald. I'm like, that's real? He's like, yeah. I said, well, I need one of those. He's like, it's $100,000. I was like, I don't need that.
Yeah. I remember in Gainesville, Florida. I don't know if it was Ben Cole's shop or if he was just there, but Ben Cole's a pretty recognizable, memorable human when he's recognizable. Yeah. And I remember seeing him in this reptile shop, and it had to be sometime between 1998 and 2000. And there was a piebald, and I can't remember the price, but I remember saying to myself, I could buy a Mercedes or that snake.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I can't buy either one of them at that point in my life. But I was like, holy cow. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm saying, I'm being facetious when I say $100,000. I think it was like 50,000 he told me. And I was like,
whatever it was.
It could have been 100, could have been 50. It was the same thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
I do know.
I said, I'm not getting that, obviously. It's cool. And then, he sent me another boa. I would always call him, so my kids would, see something they wanted, and I'd call him, and he'd just drop ship me something. So I say 2019, I was, YouTubing and all that stuff, and I learned about morph marking. Well, what is that? So I logged on there, like, oh shit. So then I go down the rabbit hole, and somebody had a Black Friday sale, I think, on Morph Market. And I bought a banana piebald.
There you go. Right.
Yeah. And I got everything I wanted. I got the banana and the piebald. I checked it both off the list.
Both boxes right in one. Yeah.
Right. Two snakes that are unobtainable all of a sudden are reachable. So I think I paid $500, which was on sale, and I thought it was a steal.
I think that still was, I would say that was a steal at that time for sure.
Yeah, I want to say that was, I don't know, November, October, somewhere around, whatever the Black Friday was. And then maybe 3 or 4 weeks after that, I bought another one. And that's when the snowball started. And I want to say, then fast forward March, the lockdown hit, COVID lockdown.
Yep.
And I had already inked a deal to buy my third snake from a guy up in Fresno. So he's like, hey, they're not shipping, whatever. I can meet you halfway. So I'm going to pick up this snake. And Dee's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going up to Calabasas. And she's like, you know, it's lockdown. We can't leave. It's illegal. You can't drive, you know, that whole thing. I'm like, man, you getting lost in the weeds. You want to go or not? So we jump in the car. We make this deal in a Taco Bell parking lot. And Dee's like, the cops are going to come. Is this legal? And then that set in another chain of events where, you know, Dee got on Morph Market and she started going crazy, man.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah. Don't make no plans Tuesday. Go to FedEx. I go to FedEx. It's like 5 boxes, then 8 boxes, so then 12 boxes. I'm like, we don't even have a rack yet. What are we doing?
You had an enabler with you. Like most of us were keeping that under wraps.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to sneak another one in the house. No, it was wide open for you guys.
She went crazier than I did. I was like, listen, all I want to do is make a panda. That's it. Now we got Mojaves, pastels, spiders, pies, you know, everything. It was crazy.
So knowing what you know now or what you see now, how's your perspective changed? I mean, it's really what I wanted to get to was 2020 versus 2025.
25, yeah.
It's a whole different business model now.
It is.
And how do you play into that? And what do you see the future as?
I mean, right now, if you're just getting in, you couldn't have picked a better time.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? It's obviously a buyer's market right now. It's crazy. As the seller, you know, it sucks for us, especially to see a lot of projects that have taken 3 and 4 years to come to fruition. Mm-hmm. And now to see that it's pennies on the dollar versus what we anticipated. You know what I mean? That's a tough pill to swallow. But, you know, like with any business, I'm old enough and had been self-employed that you understand the ebbs and flows. So it doesn't affect me as bad as it does, you know, the people who put everything into it and said, this is what I'm going to do.
Do you look at it as like, it's out of my control, there's nothing I can do about it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Is there a part also of you saying, like, do you see a rebound in prices, or do you see it as just a different business model where there's going to be the slope down?
No, just even talking to breeders that have been around for 20 plus years, they all say the same thing. You know, it's dead, it's over, that's it. And people leave and then new people come. There's always peaks and valleys. I think this market, because we're in such a niche market, we sell wants, not needs.
Yes, we do.
So we're at the bottom of the totem pole. So right now, people are only spending on needs, not wants. So as the economy changes, I'm sure that the spike will change also. You know, do I think we're at the bottom? I think we're if we're not there, we're damn close.
Knock on wood. Let's hope.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Let me ask you this, if we can, because this is, I think this is something you probably have that you and I would probably click on. Maybe you might go, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no opinion. And without wading into politics, God forbid too, how do you square, what do you think of the economic situation of obviously day to day on the street? Like you say, people are buying needs, not wants right now. Right. But behind the scenes, I mean, the stock market is on a tear. Somebody's making money somewhere. Yeah. I mean, even just the S&P 500, which, I mean, I am a very, very conservative investor. Even the S&P 500 is working magic for me right now, and has been for damn near a decade.
It's funny. I was talking to another breeder, Scott Foster from Colorado, and he does a lot of day trading. And it's funny, we probably talk 3-4 times a week, and you know, he calls me for the wins and the losses. Now, you know, the last 6 months has been a lot more wins than losses. That's right. So yeah, you know, he plays in that pool. I don't really gamble on things that, you know, I can't control.
Yeah, and I guess I'm a little. I joke with people. People are like, "What should I buy?" I'm like, "I can tell you what to buy. I have no idea how to sell it. I have never sold even one asset. Everything since I started a 401k at 27, everything I've ever bought is still just locked away.
Growing. Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, it's on the balance sheet, but that balance sheet doesn't pay the electric bill. So like on the one hand, you're going, I'm doing pretty good for myself. On the other hand, you're going, I really need to sell a snake, man.
Right. Yeah.
But so like I wrestle
we always
with that.
joke we're snake rich.
That's right. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
instead of being house rich, you got
Man,
snake rich on the
snake rich. Yeah.
But aside from any personal experiences, I feel like there's just this weird situation where, like I say, the day to day and maybe the pet buyers, that's very, very far down, but somebody somewhere is making that money because the overall, not the overall, that sector of investment returns is still just cranking, man.
Well, too, I think a lot of, it's like everything, right? It's supply and demand, right? So
that's a good component.
There's certain projects that are recession proof that I like to view as recession proof. And I say that to say, I'll give Leviathan, Stephen and Courtney as a prime example, a super orange dream ultra male sunset. That's a recession proof snake. You know what I mean? So at Tinley, I'm sure they got offers of 40, probably north of 40 grand for that. So is it bad market? For the majority of people, yes. But if you have that niche project that somebody wants, they're willing to spend.
Right. And I would argue that at the moment it's recession proof because just like 20 years ago, banana pies would have been recession proof, but they're not now. It's the supply and demand, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So there's only one.
Yes.
They have it. And
right.
And it's hot. You know what I mean? So you get to dictate the price. Now, next year, if there's 25 hatched out and 10 hit the market, obviously, the price is coming down.
Yeah.
But that's life. I think, what I think what we need as a whole, as a reptile industry, is we need a big spokesman, a big A-list person to endorse it. And I see, it would just take off. If Taylor Swift shot a video holding a ball python, I don't think there would be any available. You know what I mean? She has that kind of influence. If she does a video or goes on the Today Show, like, this is my new pet, I got it from Proper Royals, you'd be calling everybody that you knew, hey, I need some snakes.
I need some snakes. Pronto.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. ASAP.
And everybody be calling me to try and sell them.
Oh, for sure. So, I think there's creative ways. Now we have to get creative. That's what this market has brought to everybody. You got to get creative now, and I've always said, even when the market was good, it's our responsibility as breeders to try to bring at least 5 new people into the hobby annually. And that will keep the ball rolling. You know what I mean? And people, now it's a pyramid scheme. It's this, it's that. There's so many different ways to look at it. It's just like dogs and birds and fish and everything else.
Guitars, cars, Harley Davidsons. These are
everything. Hobbies, at least with luxury items. I tell people, at least it's tangible.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You can hope.
Do know what you mean.
That stock market is, the whole fairy dust. Don't let them cash in. The old Wolf of Wall Street.
Keep
selling.
I need enough people to still have faith in that market, man. Let me give me another 20 years, and then it can go away. I don't care.
Then you can do whatever you want.
Right. Then we call it a day. How does all that play into your breeding plans, to your decision making? How much of that sort of market talk versus, damn, I just love how this animal looks. And I know there's a lot of overlap there. Really good looking animals tend to be really good looking market items.
Yeah.
Talk about some of those decisions.
It's, it's funny because we've made some pretty unique and rare world's first snakes and had crazy offers on them. And, D's always the one like, sell it. And I'm the one like, no. If you hit a 1 in 256, it will behoove you to keep that, because what are your chances? It might take you 10 years to hit that again.
Right.
If I sell it, like I was explaining to her, now I breed that back, I'm down to 1 in 8. to reproduce that. Okay,
That's
now
right.
we can start selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
1 in 256. That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. So from the business perspective, if you can hold, and I understand because I talk to readers all the time, man, that make a crazy snake. I said, listen, if you really need the money, then you got to sell it. That's not even an issue. You know what I mean? But if you can afford to hold on, then, please do, because you'll thank yourself in the long run.
Do you think, and obviously I don't know the answer, you just made the argument for this. Do you think the holding it 1 year, what it will produce will outpace what it will drop in that time? Does that make sense? So if you,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now that's another thing, right? Are you holding a male or a female?
and how many are out there? And
Right.
yeah,
You gotta weigh the whole thing. A lot of times, if that project, let's say you've hit a crazy combo in that project, but there's other people producing in that project. I think that market's going to drop a lot faster than
right.
yeah. If I'm the first one to it, nobody has it. You got a little time to play around. You know what I mean? But like the DG Clown, you can get a DG Clown right now for $1,000, right? But if you want a DG Clown with 3 incomplete dominants, and I mean not pastel, not leopard, not pen, not the discount jeans. You have blackhead, stranger, confusion, something like that, something unique. Okay, I would say you need to sell that now because the chances of more of those coming to market are pretty good. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of factors that go into it. It just, it's a personal decision ultimately. But, if somebody seeks my opinion, then I'm going to ask them, hey, I don't want to get into your finances, but would this change, a few things in your life? Yes, it would. Then sell it.
I think that's a great point. And when I say this like podcast, this ball python podcast world of, let's be honest, 400 or 500 of us that watch the same content and stare the same people in the eyes all the time. We all like to make these blanket statements of this is how it is for everybody. And one of my strongest beliefs to me is everybody has different resources and different needs. And I thought that was a great way to put it. If it will change your life,
by all means. I'm telling you, immediately sell that. You got to roll the dice and hope you get lucky next year on the odds, because it's something that, I mean, say you need a new car or your property taxes are coming up. God forbid, I'm not going to tell you that, hey, hold that because you can potentially make this next year. Like that doesn't make any sense. I would absolutely cash in right now. Strike while the iron's hot.
Well, and if I would even say if it'll make a long-term difference, just in again, I go back to my, stable investments or conservative investments, $40,000-$50,000 is a lot of money right now.
Oh, for sure.
But socking it away for 24 years, in theory, that should triple by, that should grow by an exponential magnitude of 3 in that amount of time, 25 years.
But it depends on how you sock it away. If you
put
it under the bed, you get nothing.
Yeah. You got to
just put it in a standard checking account, you get nothing. Standard savings, you get nothing. So you got to have the right vehicle to achieve that. You know what I mean? So
you do.
And that's another thing too, is, financial literacy is something that should be taught. That should be a
7th grade.
An elective. Oh, absolutely. I say,
yep.
You say 7th. Yeah. What are you? 11 years old, 12 years old in 7th grade. That's right that's perfect time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Start. Yeah. I resent that it took me basically till I was 41 to go.
I'm in the same boat.
Nobody teaches you about business deductions, cost of goods inventory, so that you can take deductions further down the line rather than the first year, or amortization or depreciation. And it's this scary stuff. And it seems like, only rich people have a tax guy. Like I've never lost money having a tax guy. And I wish I'd known that when I was broke, because I would have done it then. And it drives me bonkers, man. And
you just said it too. And it's funny because there's a lot of tax people that will work pro bono. but you scared. Like you said, you don't know any better, right? So you're like, oh, that's just, I can't even afford that. Let me just get on TurboTax. Fuck it.
Right.
I'll do my own thing. You know what I mean?
And
Because you think it's cheaper, but in the long run, you're screwing yourself.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, I'll just speak for myself. If I don't have much to begin with and then somebody's doing something pro bono, then I feel like I'm taking a handout, right? Like I'm already the little guy. Now you're going to make me littler.
Right. Yeah, you're going to make
which
me
is
smaller.
stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just society doing that to us, but it's there. I would, I get it. It's maddening. And like, I take as much time as I can. Like I talk openly about family finances, when Kelly and I are having a discussion. I don't worry if my son's in the room. This is what goes into it. These are decisions that we have to make. Mm-hmm. And look, again, talk to your I'm not a tax professional. I'm not telling you to, I would say that, we probably don't depreciate ball pythons, but if your guy or woman is good with it, cool. I would argue to do it as a cost of goods inventory that you run. It would probably fly a little better, but and I don't want to turn this into a financial literacy show, but yeah, I agree, man. I was mad at 27 when I first learned about Roth IRAs. I'm like, man, I could have had 6 more years of the most productive time of growth in my career and addition in my life,
But you think don't about get that back. Just IRA, right?
Yeah.
As a teenager or a young adult, that just sounds so foreign. You don't even know that's an acronym.
Yeah.
So it just goes right over your head. You know what I mean?
Well, and we don't realize both how long life is and how fast it goes. So we think when we're 20, man, that's forever and a day away. Hey, who knows if I'll even get there?
I don't need it. That's what I always say. You know what I mean? It's funny. And I would sell life insurance, and a lot of my friends are like, all right, cool, sign me up. I'm like, no, this isn't car insurance. You got to qualify. They're like, what do you mean? They don't even understand that. There's so many factors that go. You're a risk. You can't even get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I hate to say it. And I mean, I say this understanding as a life insurance policy holder, they're wagering that I'm going to live long enough for them to make plenty of money on me before they make a penny back.
That's what it is.
It's exactly. Everybody's got to make money before Adam makes money. That's the rule in the world.
Man. Bottom line. You get priced out. Shit. I can't afford it now. It's crazy.
Well, I will say I got lucky on that. I think when I was 28 or 29, I got mine. And I'm talking whole life, not term, but whole life policy. Exactly. More interesting stuff. Talk a little bit about you said you've made some really cool animals, some world's first and that stuff. What about, I saw lately on Instagram, you've been discussing, trying to figure out your own bomb gene. Tell us about that. What goes into that? And talk about a long payoff, man. That's a long play, right?
Man. And that's funny. So first season, it was in the first, I'd say 20 clutches we had. We imported a snake from Europe, and it was supposed to be an inchy clown pied. Mm-hmm. And we got it in, and we started breeding it to everything because clown pies were the thing, right?
Oh, so right at the time,
a bunch of heads and pies, everything was crazy. So the first snake we bred it to was supposed to be just a leopard. And it was supposed to be 100% head pod, proven breeder. That's how we bought it. Mm-hmm. Well, we breed it to a visual pod, 7 eggs, no pods. I'm like, damn. And at that time, I'm still trying to figure out the odds. So I go to the morph calculator. I'm like, we should have got 3.5.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Maybe my math is off or, whatever. And so in that clutch, the first, I would say out of the 7, there were 4 snakes that just didn't make sense. Now, I wasn't good at IDing back then. Mm-hmm. So I leaned on people who had experience, and everybody came up with the same thing. I don't know.
And I apologize. What year was this?
2020.
2020. Wow. Okay. So
late 2020.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So, I'm leaning on people like, hey, help me out. What is it? I don't know. I don't know. So at that point, I had already said, screw it. I'll just sell it. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can't ID it, leopard
Right.
question mark, whatever.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, Mike, told me, listen, man, don't sell it. I said, what do you mean? He said, you don't even know what you're selling. I said, that's why I'm selling. And he said, no, that's why you're holding it. And, shout out to him. Thank God I didn't sell it, because the next clutch from him sired some more weird, wonky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, we might have something here. So I just started keeping all of that. The problem is you don't know that you have something, or he's holding something. So I'm trying to gene pack snakes. So
Right.
now, 2 years into making all this crazy shit that I can't ID, now I have to reverse it. Now I got to try to breed backwards and get it down to the single form.
Now you got to find a normal that maybe doesn't even exist in the world anymore.
That's what I'm saying. So people are like, well, what does the single gene look like? I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
So yeah, now reversing, going backwards. This year was the first year I think I was able to isolate it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, to see, okay, this is what it looks like with nothing else in it.
Mm-hmm.
So and with shed testing is great, because now you can panel test, right?
Yeah.
So that was the beauty of that was, send in a couple of these sheds from these wonky snakes, get them panel tested, and then we can shake out what's in there and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to my surprise, I was totally off. We had hatched this pie looking thing, looked like a confusion puzzle. I don't know what, this thing looked crazy. So I send it in, and I've said, in my mind, at minimum, it's going to test NC, OD, yellow belly, possible fire. Those are 4 genes I knew for a fact, just, with a little bit of experience I have in IDing, okay, I can see that. At panel test, it only comes back as homozygous pie. So now I'm like, oh, shit. Now I really know I'm on to something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's when the excitement reignited for me.
Mm-hmm.
Was, to get, that was refreshing to know that, okay, I'm not going crazy. There is something there. I see it. And, now is the fun part. So this next season is going to be really fun.
How do you see the business, aside from the fun part, how do you see the business of it playing out? Because
right.
It seems like, people like to market their new genes, and let's just say everybody that says they got something actually has something, just for this scenario, just for fun. Yeah. So they actually have something. It seems like you got to have other people working it, or other people that want to have it.
I've had this discussion.
Yeah. Right.
How do you market that? Right.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the hardest part now, because I have a lot of people who are put me on the wait list. I want some.
Mm-hmm.
How do I market that? So let's say it's a pie and I know it has this gene in it. So you're going to pay the base for the pie, $300. Okay. Now how much can I add on to that for this gene? Right.
Right.
That's the hard part. So if I'm in my mind, I'm saying, okay, I want to charge $1,000 for single gene bomb. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, okay, give me 1,300. You can get in the bomb gene. Okay. Now the word gets out and people are blowing my phone up. I want one. Oh shit. Well, maybe I came in a little too low.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now you reverse that coin and say, okay, it's a bomb pie. I want 10,000. And everybody's like, that dude's crazy.
Yeah. Suddenly
good luck. Right.
Suddenly it's
so now you shot yourself.
Again, right?
You shot yourself in the foot. Now you back to nothing again. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's a weird space. How do you market that? And D's like, well, when are we going to sell some?
Yeah.
The women are like, hey, I got a purse on hold. I got some things I need to get.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't know, man. Where does it start? I think realistically for me is the people that are really interested in, I would shoot it by them.
Mm-hmm.
What would you value this? Make me an offer. And then you can kind of play from there. What is it worth?
Right.
At that point, that's a tough one. What do you base it on? What do you do? I know for a fact, it takes a lot of marketing.
I
You know
think
what
so.
I mean?
I do
Yeah,
know.
because
Yeah.
it's like Stranger. You know, this guy founded it in 2012. He didn't release it till 2016, but he was able to build that buzz and create, you know, that interest. And the same with Cosmo, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had this gene forever, and now do I want to wait 12 years? Shit, I'm too old for that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll just sell
12
banana
years, I'll
pies
damn
for a
near
while.
be
Yeah.
70. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit,
Yeah.
I don't have 12 years to invest in, you know, the marketing and I got it in every combo and this is that. So it's kind of like I gotta unleash the tiger sooner or later. So probably next year I'll start releasing some, and I don't know where it's gonna start or what it's gonna do, but
That's cool.
knock on wood, hopefully everybody wants it.
I mean, it seems like you have takers at 1,300. We'll just leave it there for now.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
Send it here.
Then again, everybody says that till you say, okay, here's where you send the money.
You say,
and then,
yeah.
yeah.
No, you send them the wire instruction. They're like, what is that?
That's not a knock on Macomorph.
No.
I'm just talking out loud. Yeah, that's not a knock on anybody. But no, I had and again, this is one of those like conversations that was private, so I can't give too many details or who it was. But I talked to somebody. I picked up some animals at Tinley, and let's just say one person was selling them for thousands, and one person was selling them for hundreds. And I just said, what do you make of this? At the price you're asking, I don't care if you know what's in it or don't know what's in it. Those are so good looking. I just want to make more snakes that look like that. And, I got to say they're, especially at Tinley, knowing that there's money in the room and buyers in the room. Their answer was really refreshing where he said, I think it's beautiful. It's a dominant gene as far as I know. And we haven't really figured it out. I can't be the guy that says this is worth $6,000 or $7,000 kind of deal.
Right.
And I got a lot of respect for that person because they could have taken a lot more money. That it would have been for me just because I didn't have the money. At the end, I'm not.
I know what you're talking about. But
it's a beautiful.
I understand.
Yeah. And I don't knock the people that do take the money. Because one of the beauties of ball pythons is it literally is the embodiment of it's worth what somebody will pay right now. The old economic theory of what is something worth, it's what will they pay right now. So I can't knock anybody in it. As long as everybody's consenting to the deal, I got nobody to knock, So I think a lot about that stuff, and I don't. I
always struggle with like I'll give you a Tinley experience. This past Tinley, I had an animal on the table. So I had made this whole list, had the husbandry stickers to put on the thing. What happens when you rush and pack. I thought I sent it with the snakes. I didn't. It was in my bag. So I didn't have it, right? So now I'm like, shit, I don't even have labels. I'm looking at these snakes. I need to get prices on here. People keep asking. So I said, okay, I got to go the old fashioned way. Pull up Morph, and I'm looking, I'm like, just don't seem right. So I'm asking the guys vending next to me, am I reading this right? There's only, 8 animals available. I have one of them. Mine has an extra gene in it. These do not. These are selling, the cheapest one on there was like $6,000. And I'm like, man, I just don't feel comfortable asking $6,000 for this. And they're like, why not? And I said, I don't know, man. The market is bad, whatever. So I put it at $4,000.
Yeah.
And the guys next to me are like, you're crazy. I'm like, well, I don't want to, I can just write it off. This is a show price.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy like, hey, KG's over there killing the project. You always hear those stories.
There's that too. Yeah. And I don't like as much as I love free market and, I mean, in this sense, capitalism, that means I don't believe in price fixing. And, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, I've never been mad at somebody for selling their animal.
It's
what I mean.
And you can't control
like you said.
Either.
No, exactly. How can you be mad? It's not. We don't. All of us, our brand's not called Macy's, and it's a set price. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
We don't have. Yeah. This is not a franchise. So we're not under one umbrella and it's got to be a standard price. It is what it is. Do you like to see it? No, but I understand it. You know what I mean? I like we were talking earlier. I don't understand that guy's finances.
Mm-hmm.
He probably said, wife said, don't come home with less than $1,000.
That's right.
So if he got to have a fire sale, then that's what it is.
Yep.
I don't condone it. I don't like it, but I understand.
Well, and then I asked the people too, okay, if we're not going to sell it lower than this price, you going to give me the price you don't want me to sell it lower than? How protective of this price are you? Let's get a real discussion here.
Exactly. Well, people too, I've been at Tinley's and seen people that have been in a certain project and saw a certain breeder selling it for half. Well, they didn't make any stink about it. They just went and bought all of his.
I was going to say, that's the other option.
Then just put it back on his table. Now I'm controlling the project.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep.
So there's a lot of ways to look at it, a lot of ways to address it, but you can never be mad at, we in independent space. You know what I mean? It's like if you had an ice cream shop and then I open up across the street, your ice cream cones are $2 a scoop, mine are 75 cents. You're going to be upset, but what can you really do about it?
Yeah. And that's,
you know what I mean?
That is realer than, put it this way. I had a lot of people pop up selling chicken tenders cheaper than my chicken tenders for my career. All right. I'm wearing a chef coat. Okay. I know about this stuff. And it didn't matter if it was chicken tenders, if it was steak, or if it was high end wine. Yeah. And I had to know with confidence my service and my experience were better. And I knew the business well enough to know that person wasn't going to be in business in however long at this price that they were selling those things at. So they would not be a long-term problem. They were a short-term problem. And that was really kind of how it turned out. And I think now I'm saying all this as somebody who's never isolated a gene and built up a certain, a truly unique project. I'm getting there. I actually am probably knocking on the door of one, but at the end of the day, you got to know, if you know your business and you know what it takes to get there, and then you see people selling themselves short, they're not going to be a problem for long. In the moment, that sucks. It's annoying.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But a long-term thing, I don't think it'll be a long-term issue. So that's easy for me to say. Ask me in 5 years, maybe when I'm doing it. Maybe I'll have it.
Yeah. How do you really feel now?
Yeah. Okay, Adam, that was all good when you had your opinions and hadn't done it, right?
But I always say this too. Nobody cares until it affects them.
Right.
So let's say I'm only doing DG Clown, right? And you're doing DG Pie. I don't care. But now you start producing DG Clown pies, all of a sudden I'm clocking, what is Adam doing? What is he selling it for? Why is he selling, then people give a crap. Nobody really cares till it affects them.
Right.
That's just human nature.
Well, you're exactly right. And I would say in the same breath as me saying, I don't care if it doesn't affect me, I would say in the same breath, if somebody's selling stuff higher than me, why in the world do I want less? I want what they're getting for. So I'm going to go at the top. I'm not going to, So for anybody who's going, Adam doesn't get it. Yeah, I do. I want what they're getting.
100%. 100%.
Now, I know I'm not Justin and I'm not a few other people out there, but okay, I'll take 90% of that.
There's so many now, right? So think about 5 years ago and 5 years now. Mm-hmm. We have exponentially sped up combos.
Absolutely.
Right? So
between
5 years ago,
testing,
5 years ago, it was, that's what I loved about your show. You show you the best snake, right? World's first. That was my jam, bro. Like what?
That was one of the best compliments when you told me.
This is what I'm telling you, man. I look forward to that. Every month you say this is the snake of the month. And I couldn't wait to see it and then go to Morph and research it and who produced it and all that. But now it's sped up so fast that world's first doesn't mean jack now.
No.
It means nothing because everybody's hatching the world's first now.
I got to tell you, I know you know the story, but that's a long time ago. I don't think the audience knows the story. So I used to do, and there's a funny outcome. I don't know if you remember ultimately why it stopped, but so I used to do this YouTube segment and it was like the long format YouTube video. So it took work and it took participation of the breeder as well. But I would do the coolest ball python in the world. That's what the episode was called. Yeah. And it was just that. I would try and find the coolest ball python that I could in the world. And then I would dissect, not literally, obviously, but, the genes in it, this is causing this pattern, this is causing this color. And at the same time that was going on, I had never been on Instagram, and I'd heard everybody telling me, you got to get on Instagram. And I kind of thought it was like, the thing that like the kids did, I was like, I don't know, I'm too old for that stuff. I don't need that headache in my life and blah, blah, blah. And then and so it was hard work. I had to get the breeders to participate or not get mad that I was showing their snake or saying something wrong, that they disagreed about it. And so I was getting a little bit of negative feedback. It was a bunch of work. And then one day I signed on to Instagram. I was like, all right, I guess I had to do this if I'm going to be serious about what I'm doing. And my whole feed was the coolest. The whole feed was the coolest ball python in the world.
I was doing all the work to find it, and it's right here.
They're all the coolest ones.
But I did tell you, I said, I don't care. You still need to bring that back. Like that was like, man, I don't know about everybody else, but I used to just geek out on that. I look forward to those videos all the time.
I gotta go. I'm gonna have to. They're still out there. I'm gonna have to maybe I have to repost some segments of them or something.
You should. You should just run them again. Full segments. Yeah, I'm telling you. Anybody in the chat, go back, try to find it, and if you know what I'm talking about, get on Adam, bombard his DMs, make him bring it back.
That would be the coolest. Yeah.
But now instead, now you've reached a level of success / credibility that I think it would be even cooler, because now you can actually bring the breeder on.
That's true.
And
yeah.
Do a whole show, right? In my opinion.
That would be cool to
snake,
do. Yeah,
right?
you know
what I mean? And then they can walk you through the history. How did you see this? And the evolution of the whole thing. No, don't do it. I'll do it. Don't worry. I'll start the show. That'll be my YouTube kickoff.
There's a secret I've never let out before. I can't even say don't steal it because I stole it. There's a rock and roll station on Sirius XM called Little Steven's Underground Garage. Yeah. And every week he has a song called the coolest song in the world of the week. And I was like, that's it. That's the one, man. I said it's the coolest snake in the world. So I can't even get mad if somebody steals it, man. I'll get a little mad, but I can't get mad. But yeah, maybe I do need to.
You should revisit that, but change the format.
I go through these creative ebbs and flows of like feeling really inspired, and like I appreciate every guest that comes on, and some of I make the analogy of like some animals you got to pull to keep them with you, and others you have to pull a leash back because they run away with you, and the best ones are the ones that walk beside you, and those are the best shows. But the variety is, of course, the spice of life, and that's fun. But I go through these like motivational ebbs and flows. Maybe I need to do that to get the juices flowing again. And
I'm telling you,
I will say on the upside,
that would be super cool.
I at least know how to edit faster, man. I didn't know how to edit back then, man. It took me hours I can bang out editing now pretty quick. So yeah, maybe I do need to get back to it.
Yeah, that would be a cool setup for sure.
I want to talk to you about your marketing, your branding. You got a community that sort of follows around. Hell, you got a section on your Instagram page of just people wearing your merch and stuff. I want to talk about that. Maybe that sounded like, maybe you're like, oh, that sounds weird. I don't know. Right, yeah. But I saw it today. Let me, I got to pay some bills here real quick. Tell some people about some good people to do some business with. And then can we talk about that for the last segment tonight?
For sure.
All right, everybody, stick around. I use Redline Shipping. I think you guys know that. I use them for the service. You could call them up. You can ask about how to ship your animals. I don't know about you all, but it was cold today here in Minnesota. It's getting to be that time of year. We need to know how to ship and how to do it safely, and we need the supplies to do it. the end of the day, the service is what makes the difference for me and the dedication of the team. So check them out. Not Shed Testing. We'll get there in a minute. Redlineshipping.com. Use the promo code PROPER5. Get yourself $5 off your next shipping label. Shedtesting.com. A lot has been going on there. Speaking of videos, if you haven't checked it out, check out the video of the evolution of shed testing into a company and a project called Phenome. I'm not going to tell you all about it right now, but over time, shed testing will transition fully into Phenome. It already has as a business and a team entity, but as far as a website and that stuff, just be prepared. Don't be confused. It is the same great people with even more resources. So I love you guys saw Charlie lowered his prices maybe 2 months ago now. So he lowered his prices. He improved the process and the lab processes that he goes through. So there's even less chance for any human error. And you get your results in 5 business days from when Charlie gets your shed now. So better, faster, and cheaper. That's like the holy grail, the trifecta, the trinity in business. So check out Charlie. The prices are incredibly competitive. You can run a 10-test panel for $85. That's $8.50 a test on your animals now. And that includes recessives. I just sent him on a hunch. This is a true story. I sent him a shed test. I said, yeah, just run this recessive panel. And anyhow, it doesn't matter what came out, but that animal got very, very valuable in my life. And so I'm looking forward to working with it. It's worth it. Save yourself the time, the money. You don't have to hold everything back. Go shed test your stuff. Use the promo code PROPER10. You get to do that twice on 2 orders. You can order as many sheds as you want per order or tests as you want per order. And then you get 10% off of these already recently lowered prices. Hot off the presses, Reagan Renee Royal Pythons just rolled out. I got to get all the details right. I had it pulled up right here on the phone. Just rolled out ReaganRenee.com. That's ReaganRenee.com. ReaganRenee.com now has Charlie's full, that's 2 Charlies, two different Charlies there. Has Charlie's full inventory on his website now. Charlie specializes in Kryptons, DG, G-Stripe, Candy, Pied Clowns, and single, double, and triple ingredients. But check this out. When you go to his website, shipping is always free. You no longer have to worry about the price of shipping on his website. It's free. That's a great incentive to go to his website. You can use Apple Pay, Cash App, credit card, and you can even set up Afterpay payment plans on his website as well. And last but not least, how about this? Perks for the Proper Royals audience. Use the promo code PROPER10 for 10% off of any animal on his site. As far as I know, there's no exclusions on that, and it's a brand new website full of his inventory. So go check that out. That's ReaganRenee.com from Reagan Renee Royal Pythons. Portuguese pythons, Danny and Renee Rocha down there in the neighborhood at, what do you call it, the Inland Empire there, KG, a little bit east of town, huh?
Yeah, they're not too far. Maybe with no traffic. Like I always got to put the clause in that. Yeah, no traffic. They're about 25 minutes away.
They're great people. Really, KG said something earlier about, what if you hit this double or triple? It's a price, but if you get it with certain codoms and genes in there, you're going to have a really, really excellent animal, both from a price point and genetics wise. And that's something that Danny and I have always talked about just privately on the phone of, what's your mission? How do you get to these things? So check out like their, let's say Ultramel Pieds with genes like blackhead, het red axanthic mixed in there. The very dark genes with some of the projects like Ultramel. They're doing incredibly cool stuff with Ultramel. They've got Ultramel Puzzle, Ultramel Clown, Ultramel Pied projects with those nice codoms mixed in there as well. And they've been great people to work with. So check them out. Sundog Serpents, that's Josh and Sarah down in Orlando. Check them out on Morph Market if you get a chance. TSK Axanthic Clown projects. If you're working TSK projects, they have a lot of opportunities, a lot of inventory and ingredients for you. They also have a whole lot of asphalt, some of the and super asphalts. So not as much here in the States as there is north of the border of that stuff. And puzzle clutches available right now. I think they said they have about 180 hatchlings available right now as well. So if you don't see something in those projects that you're looking for, drop them a note, see how they can help you out. Okay. I've been doing business with them since the Florida Repticon days in like late 2020, early 2021. So it's nice to see them still going and still doing amazing things. Last but not least is BNS Reptilia, the original advertising partner of Proper Royals. That is Chris. He just vended Tinley with me. We are partners vending at Tinley, and we own a couple animals and projects together. Chris is Reptilia because he specializes not only in ball pythons, but blood pythons, locality boas, colubrids of all shapes and sizes, including the Pituophis family. Maybe it's a family, or is it a phylum? If you know what Pituophis is, he's your guy. Bull snakes and pine snakes. He's got all the permits and information that you'll need to acquire those animals. He's also the regional distributor of the Chipper in Pennsylvania. And if you're interested in being a distributor of the Chipper yourself, get in touch with him. He can help you on that as well. Audience, thank you the most. I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate the support. Coming up on, actually, I think November, I think next month is 4 years that I've been at this. No, maybe I have to look. Many years that I've lost track of, and it's because you guys keep coming back and the support and people like KG coming on the show. So thank you all for hanging out tonight. Thank you for 47 of you all sticking through the promos. If you didn't see the beginning of the show, these are people that support our industry and that I'm highly confident will take great care of you and that you will have great experiences with. So I hope you give them a consideration if you're looking for ball pythons, shipping or shed tests. All right. Thanks, guys. KG.
Yeah. Well, let me just say one thing.
Yes, sir.
All your sponsors need to give you a little more because you're the only person on YouTube that doesn't have a pre-made video. Oh, let's go. I mean, you do this right off the cuff, bro. That deserves an accolade in and of itself. And make sure all you sponsors that are watching, take care of my guy.
Well, thank you very much. There's two parts to that. One is that I genuinely believe for whatever this would mean, it's not just the agreement is not just write me a check. The agreement is we got to be a good fit for each other. So that makes it easy. The other part, and I'm getting chills saying this, is that nearly every one of those, all of them, not nearly, all of them, I've been doing business with for over 2 years now. So I've gotten to know them. I don't have to memorize various details.
Yeah.
Charlie rolls something out
from the heart. It sounds genuine versus a video playing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. There we go. It's working then. That's what I like to hear. So, and kudos to the audience. Now, I will say thank you. That's pretty much the one and only commercial because, like I say, Palm Street takes care of that for us. So if you're joining on the replay, you haven't had any commercials. And if you joined mid-show tonight, you didn't have to watch a commercial to get in the room. So I'm thankful for that as well. KG, you've done an awesome job. That sounds like a performance review. I love your branding. Let's put it that way. And you've done one of the really difficult, or one of the things that I'm not good at is being simple and effective. Your logo is just perfect. It looks like the embodiment of the word bomb project in the world of snakes, man. Great job on that. Where did that logo come from?
Well, the name is, D. D had the name already. And, we come from that era where bomb meant the best.
Right.
Something was the bomb, in the 80s. You always said that, man, that was the bomb. So she started Bomb Projects with her other company. And when we started, it was a reptile company? No. Okay. No. She does, what's the word? She's going to kill me if I don't say it right. Let's just say it has to do with marketing.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so she already had that going, and she was like, "Well, let's use Bomb Projects," and I was like, "Okay, I kind of like that because it's funny that in ball pythons, everything is a project.
Right. So even the word was already there.
So everything, it was like peanut butter and jelly. I was like, damn, I had this aha moment. Damn, the best projects. Basically, that's what it means, right?
Right.
And then that's when, she got to do her marketing thing. And I was like, yeah, I want a snake shaped like a bomb. And I want the tongue to be like the fuse to the bomb, right? Now, I can't draw to save my life.
Right.
I might be able to play hangman on a good day. So, I gave her that, and, she
By the
ran
way,
with it.
How creepy was that for a game for kids to play when we were growing up?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's a little nuts, isn't it? Now that I think all things.
When you think back, like of all the shit to play, that was like the game.
We couldn't call it draw the cat or put a leg on the dog.
Yeah. You're dead. You didn't guess. You're dead. Like, what? This is crazy. That's that old school right there.
Sorry, when you said that, I was like, man, how psychotic were the 80s growing up, man?
Man, even the cartoons were diabolical.
Yeah.
Just sitcoms. You go back, and my kids are like, I'd send them clips of the Jeffersons and Sanford and Son. They're like, where was this, on cable? I said, no. That was 5 o'clock on Friday. with the
antennas that you had to adjust because your dad wouldn't get off the couch, right?
On. The vice grip, turn the channel, No, you were the remote control.
That's right. You get up,
call you outside, you run inside. Put that on channel 2. I'm like,
move those antennas while you're at it.
Exactly. Oh man, hilarious.
Sorry, I set you off on the sideways there. Okay, so you can't draw, but you had a vision.
Yeah. So she came with, I told her what I wanted. She came with like 3 or 4 different designs, and I'm like, that's it right there. So we put the 2 together. And I told her, like, man, we need to get some swag, some shirts, some stickers. We need to just go on this media blitz because nobody knows who you are.
Right.
And I just didn't, I'm a very outspoken person, right? So I'm not a shy guy by nature. So I would just push myself into. I told her, when the first show that opened was Arlington. Fall of 2020. And I was like, man, pack up at least 100 shirts. She's like, what are we selling them? I'm like, hell no. She was pissed. I said, D, just fall back. Trust me on this. So I made it a point to give them to every breeder. What size you wear? Boom, 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 boom. And that got the ball rolling. And, lucky enough, the design was so simple. It wasn't like it said, grab your balls, which was clever and cool, but it was so simple that I think that people didn't mind wearing it. You know what I mean? And it became almost like, I don't know, it took a life of its own. It was crazy.
Well, I've always said, and I've not been successful at it. I like my logo, and actually it's become its own little icon, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But like the best, we could see the font. You said Macy's earlier. We could see the font of Macy's.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be an M, an A, a C, a Y, or an S. And we know that should be on a brown bag, right?
Yeah.
And that
certain things are like that.
That is an icon.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
That is right. But yeah, you're right, because you didn't have to have like the name Proper Royals for me came because I wanted to be an if you know kind of thing, because I didn't want my neighbors to think I had cobras in the basement calling it Adam's Serpents.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, and you can't get scared of Proper Royals.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you know.
Right.
And your logo is really just delivers, man. I love it, man. I've always thought it was great that way, man. And
Thank you.
And Nike's that way.
Right.
Yeah, and even the Reebok, I don't even know what that thing is. The 3 like weird angled things. I don't know what that is.
The Nike
Proxima.
Stuff is Proxima tapped in. I'll give them a little shout out.
They're out in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They hey, look at that, right on the spot there.
It's well, that's why I saw it pop up, so I said, let me give him a shirt.
There it is. I got you.
My guy Big L from Lindworm,
Okay.
You
All
know?
right. Excellent.
So, I'm not a one of those guys that just, hey, wear my stuff. No, you give me a shirt, I'm going to wear it. So don't
Have
be
you
afraid. Send me something.
has the merch in retrospect now, 5 years later, did that all pay off? Was that worth it? I think
Yeah,
that
for sure.
sometimes people get caught up too much in the pennies and the
Right.
dimes, myself
No,
included.
it paid off for sure. For sure. For us, it's
And
funny because I think it paid off so well that people just assume that I've been breeding for 20 years because they've seen it. It's dripped on them for so long that now, they just feel like, oh, you just one of the old school guys. Then when
that
they hear the story, like, damn, wait, 2020, you started with me.
that's like the definition of brand strength, man. Fantastic.
Yeah. So that did work.
Um,
Shout out to D.
Definitely. Did D's the one that designed the logo though?
Yeah, she gave me 3 options, and I said, that's the one I like. I told
Nice.
her I wanted a snake like a bomb with the fuse and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so clean. It was so simple. I was like, man, it can't be any better than that. That's perfect.
Yeah, you can always make things
Yeah.
more complicated later. Yeah, if it's
Right.
effective
Right.
at the
And
simple
we've
form.
had, since the original, we always do like an annual, knockoff theme or something. I got the Marlboro look. I got a Bass Pro Shop look one.
I saw that one. Yeah, that one caught me off guard. I was
Super
like, what is
Mario
that?
Brothers look. Like,
I remember that one.
We've
Yep.
done it. Yeah, so we've had fun with it now. So
I wrestle with that because I like the idea of keeping it fresh, but also keeping it iconic, which is hard to do.
Right. Yeah.
Because you can't change it too much or else it's not going to be iconic.
Right.
So I like those themes. My whole thing the person that did my logo actually used to do my like tour posters, my band tour posters. And I was like, I like sort of the tattoo look. I like your art style. Just give me some, I can't describe it, but I'll know it when I see it kind of thing. And he's like, all right. First one, I was like, that's it.
That's it. All right.
And then he was like, what's this Royals thing? And I was like, I explained to him why ball pythons are called Royals. He's like, what if I put a little crown on top of the snake in the background then? He goes, now that I understand it. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. All right, do that. And that was it.
And
that was
see,
the end of it.
That's the beauty of having D. You had to outsource it. I got it in-house.
Well,
like she can, I don't know how, like I said, I would have, if 5 years in, if it was just me, I'd probably have some chicken scratch, for the logo. So I can't take credit for that. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm like you. I'm like, I just don't, nothing fits, nothing works. But when you see it, like,
that's
okay,
right.
That's it.
Yep, I'm going to figure it out.
It's hard to put it in words.
KG, we got a few more minutes and just something I'm really personally interested in. And I thought, speaking of marketing, I thought you guys did a great job just from what I could see from a distance. I regretted I couldn't get there. Tell us a little bit about the shows that you put on and sort of the purpose, or what was the why behind it? Because I feel like they had a different feel, even though I wasn't there, man. From what I understand of the concept, I really liked what I was hearing about it.
This is the fun. See, it goes back to D.
Mm-hmm.
That's that marketing mindset, right? So I'd say a couple years ago, it was probably, I want to say, she put it together in probably 30 days. So it was our last show out here is the Pomona Super Show, the fall one. That's usually the last big show.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a lot of our stuff had hatched late, so we couldn't bring it to the show. And she was like, damn, we need like a stocking stuffer show. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we should do our own show. I said, that's not a good idea.
I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah, what are you talking about? And then I said, okay, well, when you want to do it? She's like, December. I'm okay, 2023. She's like, no, this year. Like, in 30 days?
Right.
Where are we going to get a venue? What are we going to do? Then I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, whatever. I said, I don't want any parts of that. We have nothing, right? In a matter of 24 hours, she had, called old friends, secured a location, said, hey, what are you doing? Let's go look at this location. Drove down there. I'm like, damn, this is pretty dope. Yeah, this could work. And then I'm starting seeing. Now she got me going. I'm all pumped, like, ooh, I can see the vision. And she's like, I only want to do it one day. You know, I said, well, why you want to do it one day? She said, because so many people come to our shows. Let's say they come Saturday and they say, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna walk around, I'll make my decision, I'll come back Sunday. Life happens, they don't come. That's vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to get there, I didn't get there. She said, I want to put the pressure on the buyer. This is a one, you know, like this is so limited, you have to come today.
Right.
And the concept was great. Everything she thought of, you know, came to fruition, and it was amazing. Knocked it out the park.
Did it, from a distance, it felt like it had like a,
it was a boutique style.
I was going to say like a curated boutique style.
The whole flow of the show, she strategically placed all the ball python breeders. She didn't want everybody to have, you know, like Portuguese showed up. Well, we know he's got ultramel, so nobody else brought ultramel. You know, Renown showed up. He's heavy in clown, so he had most of the clown stuff. And then we had a pied guy, and so it kind of made it unique, so everybody wasn't stepping on each other's toes. Like, you know, bring something niche that you're known for, and then let the other breeder bring what they're known for. Then you had spiders and turtles and all that other stuff. So
cool.
Turned out really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked the feel of it, and you know, couple thoughts on what you said. It was funny when I got here to the Midwest, to Minnesota. Those of you watching don't know, I've only been here 2 years. All the shows, Tinley, Tinley is the only multi-day show that I do, and I think I did 26 shows this year.
Right. Okay.
You're right. Like, on the one hand, it feels weird to go be like, oh, I'm doing all this work,
set up one day and then leave
and break down.
Right.
Whether it's 2 days or one day, I average the same amount of revenue. And I'm like, I don't have to pay hotels. I can get my animals back home where they're at. I watch football on one of the days if I want, you know, and now I actually, and it's not so hard on your knees, and you feel like you're like, dude, there's no lull. It is.
But that's what I'm saying. It from the doors open, people know, like, okay, shit, I only got, you know, let's say 7 hours. I got to get in there. I got to be there.
That's right.
It puts that little bit of pressure on the buyer, the consumer.
Yeah.
Because they know, hey, they only here for a minute. People get a little, you know, like, oh, I'll make plans to go Saturday. Something comes up. Well, I'll just go Sunday. And they don't go.
No.
Oh, shit, I meant to go. You know what I mean? So if you only know it's one day, you're going to put if you really want to buy, I think those are the people who show up. So.
Well, and it helps even more when you see the cool stuff, and like you say, if it's got a boutique feel and you got the vendors that are bringing the nice stuff and all of those things together, man. And the setting, the promo on it was so cool, man. I loved it. It had like the old school festival poster kind of feel, look to it, man. It all just felt like very
it was cool.
Grassroots organic.
She rolled the dice and it worked out. So
yeah. Will you guys be doing any more of those on the calendar?
We're going to do one in the spring. So we were doing it in December. We were actually going to do it this year. Now, these, you know, she's one of those people that don't want to step on toes. So we're going to do it December 13th, and another promoter out here has a 2-day show, and he's doing his on the same day.
Right.
So D was like, you know what? I don't want people to have to choose or any of that. So now she's made it a point to talk to all the promoters and make sure that whatever day she picks in the spring, nobody's doing anything. So, it's that competition.
I have to say, overall, I think it's probably better for the consumer and as
100%.
Yeah, 100%. And as the promoter, your customers are the vendors too. It's better for the vendors as well.
Yeah, because then you put in the consumer and the vendor in a spot, right?
Right.
So a lot of vendors feel like, well, if there's a 2-day show, I'd rather do that, because in their mind, they figure I can make twice the money.
Right.
I don't want to go to 1 day, set up, break down. You know what I mean? So me and you look at it differently because we vended single-day shows versus. But if all you know is a 2-day show,
right,
you're probably gonna like, you know what? I can make double the money. I'll just do the 2-day show.
Yeah. Before I got to the Midwest, I was like, what are these 1-day shows? I don't know about this, you know? Right. And then, and now I'm like, you guys are wasting your time with these 2-3 day things, man. Get in, get out, you know?
Yeah.
Well, man, I got to get out there and check out one of them. I could talk all night, but man, I enjoy hearing that.
You gotta have we got a VIP lounge, the whole thing. So you can set up your own little thing and we can do the best of show snake.
Right there.
We can bring back my favorite segment.
It just happened. That's right. The coolest. It just turns out, and you get
snake in the show.
You can get real cheeky with it, where you're just like, it turns out the coolest snake in the world is right here in this room.
Here.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You just have a good time with it.
Exactly.
So, man, KG, I gotta come hang out and see you on your turf, so to speak. I always get to see you, whether it be Daytona or Tinley, and I'm so glad that you travel and that we do get to hang out a little bit. It wasn't enough at Tinley this time, man. So thanks for being on the show so close.
So quick,
yeah. Thanks for being here, man. I really enjoy hanging out with you. I enjoy, thanks for all that you've looked out for me for. You've always been there with advice if I have it. And just like I say, camaraderie is fantastic.
It's everything. Yeah, for sure. I told you, you're one of my first fans. You and Chris Hardwick. So I'm still trying to get him back.
I know. I mean, look, I know he got he took it on the chin.
He's probably got, he's got 5 different YouTube channels. So.
He's figured it out.
Right.
But yeah, he deserves the credit. That's for sure for a generation of us, so to speak.
A lot from this generation, people that started 2019 to 2022.
Yep.
Yeah. And you put yourself in that conversation also, because you're a big part of that too.
Well,
whether you want to give yourself credit or not, a lot of people won't tell you, but I'm giving you flowers.
Thank you very much. That means a lot, because you worked hard for the flowers you got already. So I can respect that then. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Proxima, I won't be, hopefully I'll be out in Colorado in the spring. I think the fall show is either this weekend coming up. It is this weekend coming up. No, I'm in Fargo this weekend, actually vending myself versus filming and working with Redline. So I won't be there, hopefully in the springtime. Riley, thank you. It's a pleasure. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you again for your spotlight and
Riley's
showcasing me to some of your new audience. So thanks very much. Audience members, those of y'all that showed up tonight, maybe you hadn't seen me before and you came for KG, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. Consider liking, subscribing, all that. Come hang out. We do it every Tuesday night. If you like the show tonight, I think you generally will enjoy what the show is. Different guests every week. So, KG, thank you very much, man. Where can people, if anybody doesn't know where to find you, where can people find you and check out your animals and all that stuff?
Instagram, Facebook, Morph Market. We're on all do we have a TikTok? If we have one, I haven't posted. So don't go to TikTok. We're not there yet.
That's how I say about mine. Like, I got one, but that's not where the good stuff's at, man.
Exactly. No, don't go there.
All right, brother. Stick around for just a second,
okay.
KG. Audience, thanks so much. Same time, same place.
Everybody for sure.
My huge thanks, KG. I appreciate it. Let's not make it 2 years next time, man.
No. We got to do at least, what do you call it, semi-annual.
At least, man. And I like your idea of getting out there and doing a show from the show, man. That would be that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. All right. Well, I'm going to hit the music. KG, I'll see you in just a second. Audience, thanks. See you next time.